Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. It's the last day of our first week of home learning already, and you have done a star job all week, so well done to you, boys and girls. Today is Friday, the 15th of January 2021, and we're going to begin by correcting yesterday's sequencing activity. So boys and girls in senior infants, now I would like you to open up your Over the Moon book on page 69 and we're going to correct together. The first animal to enter the house was the hen. Give this box a tick if you wrote number 1 beside the hen. The second animal to enter the house was the goat. The third animal to enter the house was the pig. And the fourth animal to enter the house was the cow. Here you would have written in your own animal, which I will have corrected one-on-one on your Class Dojo portfolio. Boys and girls in first class, you also had to sequence the animals in order, but you had to write full sentences using your super sentence starters and followed by your comma. So we're going to correct those now. Number 1, first the hen entered the house. Give number 1 a tick if you wrote that correctly. Number 2, next the goat entered the house. G-O-T, goat. I have my special friend O-A that's making my O sound today, and I can actually see my smaller word oat in goat. Give number 2 if you wrote goat for the second animal. Number 3, then the pig entered the house. Give that a tick, please, if you got number 3 correct. Number 4, finally, the cow entered the house, and ow, it's got our ow sound this week with the OW special friend. Then you had to write your own line from the story with your own animal. Take in your... I was very impressed by lots of suggestions from boys and girls. They had ducks, horses, dogs and turkeys that are all other farm animals that you would find on a farm. Well done, boys and girls. Next up, boys and girls, it's time for our critical thinking based on the story A Squash and a Squeeze by Julia Donaldson. Senior infants, I want you to now open page 72 on your Over the Moon skills book. The first part of the activity is asking you to think about how the little old lady learned that her house was just right. What happened in the story to help her realize that her house was just right? Discuss this with your parents or somebody in your family now. I also want you to dig deep and put on your critical thinking cap and think, what is the main message of this story? What is the author, Julia Donaldson, trying to get us to learn by reading the book? When you have those 2 questions discussed with your family, I want you to move on to activity B. Here you have to ring the items you need and cross out the items you want. Needing something and wanting something are 2 very different things. If you need something, you require it in order to survive. Just like you require something to stay healthy, you might require something to stay safe. You might require something to stay strong. and wanting something. These are things that you desire, not things that you need. So in December, just last month, all of you would have written a list of things you want from Santa. We'll do the first two together. This is a skateboard. Do I need a skateboard in order to stay alive? No. Do I need it in order to stay healthy? No. Do I need it in order to stay safe? No. So I cross it out. This is a sandwich. Do I need a sandwich in order to stay healthy? Yes, because food keeps us healthy and food also keeps us strong. So we ring this item. Then I want you to move on to part C and complete each sentence using your own phonics skills. Please try and spell the words that you are writing on your own using your sounds. First, you start out by tracing the word I. Remember, I gets a capital letter because I am a very important person. E. I've got my special friend E there that's making my long E sound. D. I need. I need, and write something that you need in order to survive and draw a picture of it here. Then you trace over the word I again, and this is a tricky word, want. The word ant is hidden in the word want, and the word an is hidden in the word want. I want, and you draw a picture of something that you want here. Best of luck, boys and girls. Please also remember to write today's date, 15.1, at the top of your page. Boys and girls in first class, you are also going to be doing your critical thinking activity based on the story A Squash and a Squeeze by Julia Donaldson. If you have access to a printer at home, you can print off this page. Otherwise, you can just write it down on a spare page or copy that you have at home. The first part of your activity is to match the word to its definition. Remember, boys and girls, definition just means what a word means. Need, want. You have to figure out, does need mean to wish or desire something? Or does it mean to require something because without it you may not be healthy? If you are writing these down, you do not need to write out these definitions. You can just say it out loud to somebody in your family. What you do need to write down though is a list of things you need in your house and a list of things you want in your house. Remember, boys and girls, when you're writing a list, you write it going down in a line with bullet points starting the sentence. We did this so many times last term when we were writing all our different procedures of how to make or do something, just like making our marshmallow snowmen or carrying out our magnetic, non-magnetic investigation. So I've started the list of things I need here by having my bullet point and the word blanket. A blanket is something I need in order to stay warm at night. Without it, I could get very cold and get sick. Underneath my list of things I want, the first thing I wrote is toys. Toys are not something I need to survive, they're something I desire. I can't wait to see what lists you come up with, boys and girls. Best of luck! Next up, boys and girls, it's time for our spelling activities. First, we're going to begin by correcting senior infants' homework from last night. You had to complete the missing words in each sentence. Sentence A, the dog, D-O-G, was on the log, L-O-G, L-O-G. Give that a tick if you got it correct, boys and girls. B, Pam gave, G-A-V, gave, G-A-V-E. The E at the end is silent. It's a magic E that's turning the A into the A sound. Pam gave the rod to me. R-A-D, rod, R-O-D, rod. Sentence C, Dad has a good job. G-O-D, good job, G-O-O-D. The special friend O-O is making the short sound now. Give that a tick if you got it right. Next, boys and girls, it's time for our first spelling test of the year 2021. And senior infants, I'd like you to open up page 76 at the back of your spell well and look for week 14. Here you write today's date 15.1. First class, you will be opening up page 77 at the back of your spell well and looking for week 19, and again write today's date 15.1 up on top. As usual, I'm going to say the spelling, put the spelling into a sentence and say the spelling again. At the end, after we've all 10 spellings called out, I'll call them out one last time in order so that you can check that you've gotten them all in the correct order. At any time, if you need to pause the slide or pause the video to give you extra time to write your spelling, do. At the end, we'll go over each spelling together and correct it as a whole class. Okay, I'm going to start first of all with senior infant spellings. Number 1, boys and girls, rod. I go fishing with my fishing rod. Rod. Number 2, log. A log is a piece of wood. Log. Number 3, rob. The robber will rob the bank. Rob. Number 4, pod. My best friend and I are like 2 peas in a pod. Pod. Number 5, dog. I would love to have a pet dog. Dog. Number 6, sob. I sob when I am sad. Sob. Number 7, nod. I nod my head when I agree with what is said. Nod. Number 8, gave. Santa gave me lovely gifts. Gave. Number 9. Good. You are all good at doing your work. Good. Number 10. With. I play with my family. With. Now, boys and girls, if you need to pause to continue writing your spellings, that's fine, but I'm going to call them out in order first. Please check that you have each spelling in the correct order before we correct. 1. Rod. 2. Log. 3. Rob. 4. Pod. 5. Dog. 6. Sob. 7. Nod. 8. Gave. 9. Good. 10. With. Again, pause if you need more time, but now we're going to move on to correcting, just like we do in class. Number 1, rod. R-A-D. R-O-D. Give that a tick if you got it correct. Give it an X if you got it incorrect. Number 2, log. L-A-G. L-O-G. Number 3, rob. R-A-B. R-O-B. Rob. Number 4, pod. P-A-D. P-O-D. Pod. Number 5, dog. D-A-G. D-O-G. Dog. Number 6, sob. S-A-B. S-O-B. Sob. Number 7, nod. N-A-D. Nod. N-O-D. Number 8, gave. G-A-V. Gave. G-A-V-E. Gave. Number 9, good. G-O-D. Good. G-O-O-D. Number 10, with. W-I-Th. With. The special friend TH is making the th sound. Then I want you to count how many ticks you got correct and give yourself a score out of 10. Give yourself a smiley face, sad face, or fine face to show me how you feel you think you did. Next up, boys and girls, in first class, it's your turn to do your spellings. We'll follow the exact same procedure as we just did. Ready? Number 1, howl. The wolf will howl at the moon. Howl. Number 2, bowl. I eat my cereal out of a bowl. Bowl. Number 3, low. I swing my baseball bat low. Low. Number 4, about. I wonder what all the fuss is about. About. Number 5, towel. A towel is a fabric material that I can find in my bathroom. Towel. Number 6, slow. The boy in the race was slow. Slow. Number 7, over. The plane flew over the buildings. Over. Number 8, cloud. I can see a cloud in the sky. Cloud. Number 9, pay. I will pay the shopkeeper today. Pay. Number 10, start. It is time to start the race. Start. Now, boys and girls in first class, I'm going to call out those spellings in order. This is the time I just want you to check that you have all your spellings in the correct order. Number 1, howl. Number 2, bowl. Number 3, low. Number 4, about. Number 5, towel. Number 6, slow. Number 7, over. Number 8, cloud. Number 9, pay. Number 10, start. If you need more time to complete your spellings, that's fine. Pause the video or pause the slide. But now we're going to move on to correcting. Number 1, howl. H-owl. H-O-W-L. Remember the word how and owl is in howl. Number 2, bowl. B-O-L. B-O-W-L. The word bow or bow is in bowl. Low. L-O. L-O-W. Number 4, about. A-B-out. A-B-O-U-T. The word out is in about. Number 5, towel. T-ow-l. Towel. T-O-W-E-L. Number 6, slow. S-L-O. Slow. S-L-O-W. The word low is in slow. Number 7, over. O-V-R. Over. O-V-E-R. Number 8, cloud. C-L-O-U-D. C-L-O-U-D. The word loud is in cloud. Number 9, pay. P-A, pay. P-A-Y. And number 10, start. S-T-R-T, start. Remember, there's lots of words hidden in start. Art, tart, and star, and tar. S-T-A-R-T, start. Now, boys and girls, it's time to count how many ticks you got right and give yourself a score out of 10 at the bottom, please. We are now going to correct our score out of 10 into a percentage, just like we do every week in school. I want you to count how many ticks you got correct. So if you put up 7 fingers, that shows me you got 7 correct. If you put up 8 fingers, that shows me you got 8 correct. Then we're going to count in tens using that many fingers. Here I got 10 correct, so I'm going to put up 10 fingers. Practice counting in tens with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I counted in 10 times and I landed on 100. That tells me I got 100%. So I write the number 100 and I draw a diagonal line with a dot above the line and a dot underneath the line. Remember, give yourself a smiley face, sad face, or okay face to show me how you did. Great job, boys and girls. Next part, boys and girls, is converting your spelling score into data using your block chart. So if you turn to the back of your spell well, you will find your progress chart, and I want you to find the week that you were on in your test. So week 14. Then you start coloring in however many squares you got right in your test. So just say you got 10 out of 10. I'll color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares. Remember to color in all your, they're not squares, they're rectangles. Remember to color in all your rectangles the same color. Now, boys and girls, I want you to do a free writing activity. We are going to be doing one of these every Friday. We could even call it Free Writing Fridays. In your free writing activity, you have 10 minutes and 10 minutes only to write everything you want about a topic. Today's topic is your house. On your own, I want you to write about your house. Try your best to remember capital letters, finger spaces, full stops, and neat writing. Try add in adjectives for colour, shape, size, texture if you can. Sound out your words to help you spell. Do not ask anyone for help with spelling, as it's always okay to make mistakes, and I want to see what you can do on your own. You can choose to write about all the different rooms in your house, all the different things that you found in each room, all the different actions and jobs that happen in each room. I can't wait to see what you write. Remember, this task should only last 10 minutes. Put on a timer if you want. Best of luck, boys and girls. Today, boys and girls, your Irish activity is just to listen to your poem, Teach Bob Óga. Some of you may remember this from your poetry last year. Teach means house and Bob Óga means doll. So this poem is all about a doll's house. I want you to listen out and see if you can identify any words that you know. These could be words that you learned this week, or they could be words that you learned other months, just like lots of vocabulary to do with our toys. Enjoy our poem, boys and girls. The last part of our Irish lesson, boys and girls, is to revise all the sentences and new vocab that we learned this week. Read along or speak along with me. Kishtin. Tá spúnóg sa kishtin. Tá pláta sa kishtin. Tá board sa kishtin. Seomra sí. Tá telefís sa seomra sí. Tá tullag sa seomra sí. Tá lampa sa seomra sí. Seomra lapa. Tá laba sa seomra lapa. Tá éadaí sa seomra lapa. Tá teddy sa seomra lapa. Seomra folca. Tá dortal sa seomra folca. Tá leithris sa seomra folca. Tá tuáile sa seomra folca. Agus sin a bhfuil buacaillí agus cáilíní. Go hiantach. Nearly time for your counting in twos movement break dance, boys and girls. But first, I'd like you to complete a hands-on counting activity. I would like you, with your parents' permission, to go to your sock drawer. I'd like you to count all your pairs of socks. How many pairs of socks do you have? Remember, every pair of socks consists of 2 socks each. So, now I want you to count again, but this time I want you to count in twos. How many socks do you have all together? Tell your parents and the rest of your family. Now, boys and girls, it's time for our Work It Out weekly maths test. This is for first class, but as usual, senior infants, if you want to join in by shouting out your answers out loud, you can. First class, I'd like you to open up page 73 in your Work It Out. Week 15. Number 1. 11 take away 4 equals A 6, B 7, C 8. Write your answer now, please. Number 2. There are more birds than cats. A 6, B 2, or C 3. Number 3. There are edges on a cuboid. Edges are the lines joining the corners on our 3D shapes. A4, B8, C12. Number 4. 7 less than 14 is A7, B8, or C9. Number 5. It is 1/2 A6, B10, C12. Number 6. Plus 6 equals 10. A3, B4, C5. Number 7. What comes next? A rectangle with 2 dots, B, a semicircle, or C, a semicircle with 1 dot. Number 8. Which one is the tallest? A, B, or C? Number 9. What number is missing? 56, 57, 58, 59. A, 70, B, 60, or C, 80. Number 10. Half of 12 is A4, B5, or C6. If you want to pause now to look back over your answers before we correct, do so, but we're going to move straight on to correcting our answers together. 11 take 4 equals 7. Number 1. Number 2. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birds and 3 cats. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. So that shows me there's 3 more birds than cats. There are 12 edges on a cuboid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Number 4. 7 less than 14 is 7. It is 10:30. Number 6. 4 plus 6 equals 10. Number 7. You had to follow the pattern. It was rectangle, square, semicircle, rectangle with a dot, square with a dot, and semicircle with a dot. So the answer was C. Number 8. Which one was the tallest? C, the giraffe. 9. Which number came next? 60. So the answer was B. And half of 12 is 6. Give that a tick now, please. Give yourself a sad face, fine face, or happy face to show me how you think you did. Remember to count up all of your ticks and see how many you got correct. Remember to give yourself a percentage as well by counting up in tens for however many ticks you got correct. Well done, boys and girls. Now, boys and girls, each Friday we're going to finish off our home learning with a revision quiz. Every quiz is going to have 10 questions. On a page in your copy or a scrap piece of paper, I want you to write the numbers 1 to 10 going down in a list now, please. If you have a whiteboard at home or a chalkboard that you'd like to do this on, that's totally fine as well. You are going to be listening to the quiz all together. You have to listen to the question and listen to the possible answers. There's going to be 3 possible answers for each question, A, B or C. All you have to write down is A, B or C to tell me what you think the answer is. We're going to correct each question as we go along, so remember to be ticking your numbers as we correct. Best of luck, boys and girls. Number 1, we're starting our quiz off with phonics revision. What 2 special friends make the ow as in ouch sound? A, O-U and O-W. B, O-U and O-A. C, O-W and O-A. Write your answer A, B or C beside number 1 on your page now. And we're going to correct, boys and girls. The answer was A, O-U and O-W. So give number 1 a tick if you got that correct. Question number 2 is to do with our reading comprehension this week. It's based on the story A Squash and a Squeeze. What is the main message of the story A Squash and a Squeeze by Julia Donaldson? Is it A, we shouldn't live in a house that's too small? B, we don't need items to be happy? Or C, animals can make your house messy? Write your answer A, B or C now please beside number 2 on your page. If you want time to think about it, pause the video now. We're going to correct. The answer was B, we don't need items to be happy. Give number 2 a tick if you got that correct, boys and girls. Next up is our Irish oral language revision. Question 4. Feadh tú deirtear túála agus leithris sa seomra A. C, B, lapa, or C, folca. Scríobh litir A, B nó C in aice le uimhir a chathair anois. Léag mé an Albert uair amháin arís. Feadh tú dortal, tuáile agus leithris sa seomra A, C, B, lapa nó C, folca. The answer, boys and girls, was C, sa seomra folca. Now time to revise our Irish reading. Question 5. Sa means A, in, B, on, or C, under. Write your answer A, B nó C in aice le uimhir a chuaigh anois, please. Sa means A, in, B, on, or C, under. If you need to pause to write your answer or have a think, do so now, but I'm going to move on to correcting. Sa means in, so the answer was A, in. Now time for our Irish poetry. Question 6. Our Irish poem this month is called A, An Teach Bóga, B, Ag Dul ar Scoil, or C, An Bric Fásta. Write your answer A, B, or C in aice le uimhir a sé anois le do hull. Our Irish poem this month is called A, An Teach Bóga, B, Ag Dul ar Scoil, C, An Bric Fásta. Scríobh do ragart A, B nó C in aice le uimhir a sé anois le do hull. And the answer, boys and girls, was A, An Teach Bóga. Now time for some mental maths. Question 7. Which one of these numbers would you not land on when counting up in twos? A, 9, B, 8, or C, 4. Write your answer as A, B, or C now, please. If you need to pause, do so now. But we're going to correct together. The answer was A, 9. You do not land on the number 9 when you're counting up in twos. Number 8. Maths. What 3D shapes can stack but not roll? A, cylinders and spheres, B, spheres and cubes, C, cubes and cuboids. Write your answer as A, B, or C now, please, beside number 8. The answer, boys and girls, was C, cubes and cuboids. Cubes and cuboids can stack but cannot roll. Next up, science. Question 9. In science, when we talk about materials, we mean A, cylinders and spheres, B, wood and metal, or C, what is something made out of? Write your answer A, B or C beside number 9 now, please. And the answer, boys and girls, was C. In science, when we talk about materials, we mean what is something made out of. Now, boys and girls, it's your last question, question 10, and it's going to be about SPHE. Question 10. Which job would not happen in the house? A. Making your bed. B. Pulling out weeds. C. Sweeping the floor. Write your answer as A, B or C beside number 10 now, please. And the answer was B. Pulling out weeds would not happen in the house. It would happen in the garden. That's it, boys and girls. Happy Friday and well done on doing a super duper week of home learning. Time to enjoy your freedom and your weekend. Talk to you next Monday.